You guys would not oh my gosh, wait. I'm not gonna kill your guys' ear. Alright? Alright. You guys would not believe what I did though. I freaking uploaded a video, not just a stream, a video. It was a video. I never do that. Crazy. But what's going on, guys? This is PukaTuka here, and today we're back with Doki Doki Literature Club. This is gonna be part 5 of the series. I told you I'd return, and guess who came back? Me. I'm back. I don't leave series off. I will try not to. Don't look at my Outlast series, because that's a work in progress. I don't know where I'm at anymore in that game. But anyway, let's just get into the game. Let me just... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, gosh. Well, I have to do this anyway, so... Alright, I forgot. I did not change the screen capture to Doki Doki. I just... Doki Doki. There we go. Alright, we should be good. Hello. That's right, I don't want the black on there. Alright, there we go. Let's get into this. I have no clue what we did last. Pokemon? What? Chapter 5. Poems are forever. Alright. 1:23 a.m. Did I play through this? I did play through this, but I don't remember it. See, that's a good thing I took a break, because I don't remember this. I did play through this, but it was a stream that went bad. Oh, I remember. I left that stream. Oh, and I came back and I just ended it and deleted. Okay. The dim light on my desk lamp reflected across the walls of my room. The only real source of light coming in, except for the street lamps outside. The doors leading out to the hallway in my bathroom were shut, and I was once again the only person in the house. On my desk, a few bottles of immune soda sat empty, my bag dangling open on my chair, hanging by a strap. I was laying down on my twin-sized bed, head up against the wall. A thin yellow pad and ballpoint pen laid in my lap. The page I had opened was scrawled with several bullet points and various doodles. The corner of the paper slightly degeared from toying with them. I remember that word. I couldn't pronounce it because I've never seen it in my life. In my life, I've never seen that word. Anyway, a half-empty strawberry immune bottle and a dirty bowl from supper, a minced vegetable dish, sat lying on my nightstand. Plugged up to the wall was a tiny white plastic radio, a 1970s model with no clock, a mail-in Christmas gift from my American aunt overseas, softly playing dramatic orchestral music. I thudded my head against the wall inside. I had followed Monica's advice from today's club meeting and turned off my laptop and phone hours ago, except for my radio, on the concept that some background music would help get the juices flowing. Since I got home, it was just me and my thoughts. I contemplated inviting Sayuri over to brainstorm our final poems together, but tossed the idea aside. She probably wouldn't feel like going out anywhere anyway, preferring to sleep in like she normally does. I stared across the room, fixated on the tiny white wastebasket tucked into the corner. To the brim it was filled with crumpled up yellow paper, various sketches and ideas scrawled on them all rejects. As I stared into the balls of trash piled up, I felt my emotions grow more disgusted. Maybe not disgusted, but upset. Upset at myself not being smart enough to come up with a decent poem by now. I clicked my pen over and over in annoyance. I glanced down at the yellow pad again and tossed it aside. Uh-oh, I just realized I have to do the voices. I need some air, I thought to myself. I got up from my bed and walked to my window, moving aside a few books sitting on the windowsill to prevent them from falling outside. I snatched the last Ramune bottle from my desk and popped it open, forgetting I already had one open. I unlatched the window locks and propped it open. The rain was reduced to a light drizzle, faintly sprinkling onto my shirt sleeves and hair. I took a sip from my Ramune bottle and looked out across the neighborhood. The pagoda-inspired rooftops were neatly organized, a tightly designed grid extending as far as my eyes could see. Usual urban life sounds, a dog barking, cars driving by, crickets filled my ears. Some 12 minutes away past the river, the faint outline of the downtown Tokyo skyline was visible, the bright lights shining through the fog's haze. The majestic Tokyo Skytree, the tallest structure in Japan at 2,080 feet tall, for the record, gleamed through the night, with the smaller, more homely Tokyo Tower nearby. If I squinted, I could just make out the thin outline of Mount Fuji, the white-capped mountain looming over the city. I sighed. This is gonna be harder than I thought. But what was I expecting? Love poems have never been my forte. Heck, love in general is something I've always treaded a thin line on. All the ideas I had developed these past few hours, including the one I had when I watched TV, were okay, but they all felt too crass and cliche. Like it was something just written on a whim. On a whim, a last-minute essay due next period. No emotion or heart to it, just robotic. If I was writing a poem like this, I wanted it to have soul. Whatever I wrote, it had to be good. No, great. The best dang poem I'd ever write. I keep yawning. It's gonna be the last one before we start working on the festival, Monica said. Then make it the best. Only the best for Natsuki. I took a swig of my drink, letting the sweet flavors swish around in my mouth. A breeze flew in my face, and I felt a shudder rush up my spine, but not because of the cold. The question I had been dreading finally came to stare at me in the face. What if she doesn't like it? And to add to that, what if she doesn't like me? Well, then that's fine. Then that's it then. She'd probably read the poem and catch the hint, be weirded out, and probably tell Sayori. He'd tell Monica, he'd tell Yuri, and then that would be it. I'd be embarrassed out of the Rotary Club, probably labeled a creep. He only joined just to get with one of us. Sayori would look down on me and try to slowly disassociate herself from me, probably stop talking to me altogether, history aside. Things would be incredibly awkward after, then I'd have no choice but to go back to life as normal. Only talking to a few pre-existing friends, and once they found out, well, bye-bye social life. What a nightmare. Another swig. Unless it's just all in my head, my brain over-exaggerating reality. Fear taking root of my thoughts, amplifying the negatives while diminishing the positives. While there's a chance she might not like it, there's also the chance she will. I tapped the bottle against the windowsill, listening to the glass gently clink. Suddenly, a spark. Wait, I thought. Trying to grasp this idea. Yes, this is perfect. Yes! I ducked my head inside and slammed the window shut. The radio was playing a slow jazz cover, full of saxophone. Almost like sounded like How Deep Is Your Love, but I wasn't sure. I swiped up my yellow notepad and pen, putting it down on my desk. I can't afford to lose this idea. I sat down at my desk, pushing aside the stacks of paper and books. Eagerly, I brandished my pen and began to write. Okay. An hour later, I had a neatly written poem printed on a clean sheet of paper. I can't speak. I read and reread it, going over the final details. With a smile, I decided that it was perfect. Well, about as perfect as I could get. Maybe Yuri wouldn't like how slightly lacking it was in sophisticated vocabulary, but then again, I didn't write it for her. In celebration, I powered on my phone and laptop and was greeted to a flurry of notifications. I swiped through most of them, either unimportant or not worth spending a few minutes on. News reports, new episode updates for my favorite series, nothing special. I yawned and glanced out the window of my chair. Speaking of favorite series, Steven Universe Future is returning on March 6th or 7th. March 6th at 7. That's right. Just saying. Good series. I yawned and glanced out the window from my chair. The inky blackness of the night persisted, the moon's glare shining on the traces of clouds. Wow. A quiet, serene scene. I looked down and glanced at my phone's clock. 2:23 a.m. Christ. How long did I spend working on that phone? It had to be at least several hours, maybe, on and off work. However long it was, it has to be the most I've ever worked on anything. I need to stop yawning, school-related or not. I stretched my arms out, twisting to pop my back. After all that work, I was incredibly tired, yet I still had school in a few hours and I had to use the area to wake up call. I took a sip from my Remude bottle, fighting to stay awake. I can sleep for a few hours and still wake up tired. My mind managed to process. I lazily grabbed my phone and set up an alarm for 7 sharp. I stood up and walked over to my inviting bed, collapsing onto the neatly pressed sheets. Just a few hours of sleep, then we'll show Natsuki the poem and everything will be. My word fell to black. I'm trying to remember, because something's sparking in my mind, but I don't know if this is it. Oh god. I remember this. I woke up several hours later, the sun set glazing in through the window. My mind was locked in a state of confusion before I realized I had slept through the day. I tried to call Sayori to let her know what happened, but it went straight into voicemail. I don't like this. I cursed and sat up on my bed. I should try going to her house and apologize for not showing up to the meeting, or giving her an explanation so late, face to face. I clicked open my bedroom door. I don't like this. Oh. Natsuki was standing there, motionless. In her mind, I saw a heavily damaged book, scorch marks on the cover. Parfairos? Natsu, you weren't at school today. We were all waiting for you, but you didn't show. I was waiting for you. You and I reading together was all I had to look forward to. You just had to rip that pleasure away from me. How could you do that? Are you listening to me, Puka? We're all sick freaks. That should be obvious by now. But you don't hate me, Puka, do you? Do you hate me? When I realized you weren't gonna come, I hid in the bathroom and cried. Is that what you want? For me to hurt more than I already am? How could you? How could you, Puka? Help me. Help me, please. Play with me. Play with me. Help me. I always get cold chills reading that and seeing that. I was about to say something, then I would have been. I gasped as my eyes snapped open, my alarm blaring in my ears. I turned on my phone and hastily grabbed it with my sweaty hands, my eyes squinting at the bright screen. What the frick? I kept saying this to myself, trying to understand the nightmare. I ran my fingers through my hair, rubbing my eyes clear and dumb. What the ever-loving heck was that? Why was Natsuki like that? Was there a meeting? And furthermore, what did she mean by hurt more than I already am? I shook the thoughts away. It was just a nightmare. All this stressing out caused it. I need to stop worrying. I tried to tell this to myself, but those ugly thoughts lingered. I stepped into my bathroom to relieve myself. I love this bathroom still. Sorta. I don't like the mirror. It just seems very condensed, but I don't like the mirror. I don't know why I don't like the mirror placement, I just don't. Wait a minute, is that a fire alarm above the mirror? I think it might be, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I finished up and, or like the sprinkler, I don't know. I finished up and reached into the shower to turn on the water. I slipped out of my clothes and hopped into the shower, dousing my hair in hot gentle water. The water rushed over my body and put me at ease. By the time I had finished, I forgot all about the nightmare, to my relief. I dried myself off and went through with my usual morning routine. I find it... Ah, yes, I forgot about what I was just talking about. And I'm not saying like he was just talking about it in the other room. I'm saying he remembered it, that he forgot it, so that means he remembered. I got dressed, combed my hair, brushed my teeth, all that. I shoved my phone into my pocket and quickly stepped downstairs, trying not to wake my parents. Let me just pull this up right here. Let me just plug in my phone. My charger is broken, I think. Hey. I turned on the oven light and turned the knob on one of the stoves. I quietly pulled out a pan from the pantry and set it on the quickly heating stove. I turned and dug into the fridge, pulling out a 4-count carton of eggs and started pulling out other ingredients. I can hear the stove click off, and I return to its attention. I take 3 of the eggs from the container and crack them on the rim of the pan, hearing the sizzle pop of the egg mixed with the heat. In a few minutes, I had a nice seasoned omelet on a plate ready to eat. I took the other 2 omelets I had made and put them in the fridge, a little surprised my parents when they woke up. I quietly washed the dishes and replaced them in the drawer. I grab my plate and take a seat at the dining table, headphones in. I quickly devour my breakfast, scrolling through today's morning news. I glance up at the clock hanging up on the wall, resting above a portrait of myself, my mother, and my father. 7:37 a.m. Well, now would be a good time as ever to call her, I thought. I take my plate upstairs and open my phone, tapping to the dialer. I punch in Sayori's cell. I walked over to the window and took in the morning scenery. Outside, I could hear a few birds crying out their usual morning chorus. I pressed my phone to my ear with my shoulder, digging through my bag for my binder. The line clicked. A groggy female voice answered. Hello? Sayori? It's Puka. Silence. Sayori? Her voice returns, now chipper and bright. Oh, hi Puka. Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I have to take the small break to text a friend. Because if you guys saw that in the bottom right, I don't know. Yeah, you could have. Maybe. I don't know. But wait, he's playing Five Nights at Freddy's? He's playing Five Nights at Freddy's? Oh, that's not what I wanted. He's playing Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. He's playing Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. Alright, we're good. Huh. Oh, hi Puka, why did you call me this early? I paused. Did she really forget? Don't remember from yesterday? I was going to give you a wake-up call every morning. I pull out my binder, solid black and stuffed with papers. Oh right, I almost forgot. I'll be done in a few minutes. Through the phone, I can hear a faucet running. I grab my phone from my desk and slide it into my binder. Cool, see you then. I hang up. I close my binder and stuff it back into my bag, right next to the parfait girl's wall. Oh crap. How did I forget? I was supposed to read it yesterday so I could read it with Natsuki after the club meeting. I grind my teeth in anger. Dang it. I shake my head. I can just read it through the day and have it done by the time the club meeting starts. Sure, I might look dorky reading manga out in public, but I don't really care. It's important. I flick the lights off to my room and close the door, heading downstairs. I quietly open the front door and lock it behind me, walking to the gate. Oh, my nose. My nose. The convenience is that Sayori lives only a few doors down from me, a walk that takes less than an hour. I peer down the street. A girl rests up against the fence, looking up at the sky. A dash of red in her orange-pink tinted hair. Brown blazer and a blue skirt. Sayori. She glances in my direction, almost not noticing me. Okay, now we're up to an area I haven't been to, so no matter what, I don't know what's happening. Puka! She waves her arms excitedly as if I can't see her. I chuckle and walk towards her, but she runs up to me and embraces me. I smile despite her eagerness. Nice to see you too, Sayori. I awkwardly laugh. We start the walk to school, chatting indistinctly about schoolwork and other random stuff. We of course talk about the club, and Sayori brings up that the literature club has a group chat that I need to be added to now that I'm a member, which should be interesting, to say the least. I would love to see this group chat. I don't think I've seen this view of the school, but I have no clue. I don't know. We reach the gates of the school, and Sayori gives me another hug and says her goodbye. She starts to run off before I can stop her. Whoa! What's the rush? Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm meeting with Monica this morning so we can discuss plans for the festival. I was supposed to meet with her now, but so I need to get there fast. I gave her a look. Why can't I go? My mind traces back to Yuri and Nancy. Are they going too? She pauses. Oh, well, it's... She tries to find her words. Private talk, you know? President and Vice President talk. Well, we'll tell you all today at the meeting. Anyway, I gotta go. She gives me a final wave before she darts off, dodging past the slow-moving students around her. I stand alone, still confused. President and Vice President talk? Wonder what that entails. I can't help but wonder if the talk is about me in a bad way. About the events yesterday, perhaps. I shake those thoughts away. Sayori did say she would share their discussion with everyone else today. I'll just have to wait. Plus, if I did go with her, I wouldn't have time to catch up on Forfait Girls. He's got a point. I walk through the main building, double checking the campus map at the front door. My eyes scan for the library. Have you never been to a library? Okay. Okay. I better not get a copyright claim. Where's that from? Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm singing the song for my choir class. There's no way. That's crazy. The third period bell rang and the class became alive with activity. Lunchtime had arrived and a lot of students were eager for today's menu. Nikujaga, a rich beef stew with potatoes. That doesn't seem too bad, but I don't like stews generally. Okay. I slung my bag over my shoulder and mixed with the crowd. Oh, it's so good. I'm trying to find my friend's channel because I want to see if he's playing the game. Check his channel. His last YouTube video was 5 months ago. Okay. So that means it might be on Twitch. Guys, I'm finding it. Don't worry. Shut up. What's his name? Channel. Is this him? Yeah, it is. Please, let me just go to the channel. Ah, my phone. Help. Maybe he's on Mixer? I'm finding this, guys. Maybe I'm hoping I don't get copyrighted. Because I can't do anything about it at this point. Streaming? No. Okay. That's fine. I slung my bag over my shoulder and mixed with the crowd in unison, making their way to the cafeteria. I entered the cafeteria. Most people sat on the ground floor, but there was also an elevated seating area overlooking the main court, accessible via stairwell. I don't know why I am trying to make this into a song. I don't know what I am doing, bro. It was typically occupied by people looking for a more quiet and reserved area to enjoy their meals. I usually sat there when I needed study before a class. Wait, can I turn it down? I think we're fine. I think the stream's fine. I think I'm just over exaggerating. Cram study, or sit and enjoy my manga with a few jokes. You could also eat outside in the courtyard, which was also a really nice place to eat. The air smelled rich with spices, which made my stomach rumble all the more. Imagine not playing Apex. I joined the line and in a few minutes had a steaming bowl of soup, plus a cookie tree and a side dish of fried rice to go with it. My hands on the way, something. Now, where to sit? At this school, everyone had their own sort of cliques. An example, groups that always hang out together. I don't know who I stands for. I usually sit by myself or somewhere secluded, or more often with some friends I share interests with, mainly anime, but I don't. A flash of pink catches my eye. My eyes swivel back to where it's located. There, sitting up against the farthest wall, nose down in a small, colorfully decorated blue skirt tucked in her legs, nude pink bag sitting next to her, red clip in her hand, face with a monotone expression, focused, directed at her mom. Natsuki. What the heck? Why is she all alone? Is she always alone at lunch? My mind raced through a billion different answers. Do Monica, Sarah, and Yuri not have this lunch? Do they go off campus to eat? Does Natsuki not like going along with them? I left my bowl shift on my tray from my hand, starting to shake. I felt my bowl shift on my tray, from my hands, starting to shake with nervousness. I have to go talk to her, I think. I start to move past the other students who pay no mind. My mind continues to swirl. Have I seen her at lunch beforehand? There's usually a couple of loners sitting up against the wall on their phone or otherwise. It feels like there's always been a dash of pink among them. My stomach gets heavy. If only I had known her before, she'd always have someone to sit with. Just be cool. Be cool. Be cool. I stand in front of her. She hasn't noticed me yet, I don't think. I clear my throat. Natsuki? She glanced up and jumps at the sight of me. Puka? She drops her manga, Parfait Girls, Volume 3, the next one I'm supposed to read. What are you doing here? I shift on my feet. I have this lunch. Why are you all by yourself? She looks away, ashamed. I don't have anyone to sit with. What about Monica and the others? I swear if they purposely leave her out of their clique, she shrugs. They don't have this lunch. They're in the B group. My emotions relax. I see. At this school, there are two lunches. A, B. As usual, usually a lunch is filled with the third and fourth years, with B having first and second, but there's always a few kids who get left out of the majority. Is this why you're on the floor then? She gets up and dusts herself off. The Parfait Girls volume to question her. Why do you care? Her voice is icy cold. I was just wondering if you, my hands drifted right, would like to sit with me? I get if you don't want to. I mentally prepared myself for an outright rejection for a laugh in those days. Sure, but I don't know where we'd sit. Her eyes scan the sea of heads. I smile. Just follow me. I watch her grab her stuff and I walk past the rows of tables heading for the upstairs sitting in. Natsuki walks side by side with me up the stairs. Thankfully, it is relatively free of students. Only a couple kids are scattered across the tables, chatting and eating indistinctly. A few kids gave us a glance, but returned to their business. I walk over to a corner table with a nice view of the lower floor. Natsuki put her bag down and takes a seat. I put my tray down and join her. Custom art, took a guess, that's... Okay, I'm looking at volume 3 right now, and I hate to break it to you, but pretty sure those are just remodels. But that's funny. That's funny. I mean, I like this art. It's not bad. I mean, it's pretty. It's good. I'll go with that. I couldn't do better than that. Let's go with that. Alright. There's a brief pause. Have you finished the Parfait Girls volume yet? It's so weird, her mouth is moving. Ah. I take a bite of my rice, sharp with flavor. I nod, having managed to finish the book before the first bout. Yeah, it was really good. You were right about how things get interesting after a while. I can tell that stuff is about to get... I twirl my fork. Real. I laugh. I like this art. Okay, I see the fact that it's changing. I like it. She politely joins the laugh. I can't help but notice how Natsuki is eyeing my sip. Her eyes hungry. I take a sip of my drink before I dare ask, "Did you eat lunch already?" "No." "What? Why not? The line's died down a bit." I point towards the food line below with my fork. Compared to earlier, now only a few kids are waiting in line for the meals. "I know, but I forgot to bring my money." She looks embarrassed. I don't even hesitate. I gently push my tray towards her. Natsuki glances down at the tray and gives me a look in disbelief. "Puka, are you sure?" I nod. I have to do her voice, I forgot. "Well, it would be mean to offer it to you just to take it away from you, wouldn't it? And don't worry, I'll just get a bite from the vending machine later." I make a motion with my hands. Eat. 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 Natsuki picks up the utensils and gives me a final, "Are you sure?" glance. I just nod. For a few moments, it's mostly silent as Natsuki hungrily wolfs down the sink, draining the bowl in a few minutes. My mind claws for a conversation piece. I think back to the phones. "Now's your chance, Puka. Don't ruin it." I reach down into my bags. "Hey, so, I have my phone with me, and I was wondering if you wanted to trade them now so we don't have to do it later, and we can get to reading Parfait Girls quicker." I pause. "That is if you want to." I add for a good measure so she doesn't feel forced. She just smiles. "Sure." She unlatches her bag and pulls out a pink folder, a few hearts, and cat stickers decorated in front. I pull out my binder and retrieve the paper. I feel my heart beat just a little quicker. "I'll go first. Here." You should have went second. I hand her the paper. She gingerly takes it and glances at it. Moment of truth. She starts to read it, still eating the last few grains of rice. I watch her face turn from general boredom to intrigue, and ending with all I can call it is amazement. Her cheeks flush red. Wait, did her cheeks just turn? No, they were red before. Okay. Wow, that was. Her voice was slightly higher tone. I just remembered. I butt in. Bad. God, here we go. She quickly shakes her head no. No. It was just, wow, you wrote this for me? This is so weird. I don't like this. She drops her spoon and almost yells. I mean the club. Okay, well, things are going good then. That only says good things are going good. She laughs awkwardly. "You wrote this for the club." On the outside, I look natural and normal, but on the inside, I'm screaming. She loved it! Oh my god! I like this. I feel a massive weight lifted off my chest. A hurdle passed. Now the question is, yeah, I spent all night working on it. It's our last poem we'll share together before we work on the festival, so I wanted to make it good for the club. Frick, did she hear that? She nods her head. It was really good, Puka. I didn't expect you to write something this good. She hands me the paper back, slightly quivering in her hand. Her mind is still in the daze. I can't believe it. She loved it. She loved it. She loved it! But I still think mine's better. She hands me her own paper. I'm excited. I think maybe not. Oh god, I just had a thought that just went through my mind. It's just gonna be a poem. Just about some other guy, and I'm just gonna be sitting here like, yeah. It says R&B 18, so I tried to click the right mouse button 18 times. 118 times. Okay, what were we on? It's a slightly dodgier piece of copy paper, written with pencil. I can see her polite, cutesy handwriting. My hand quickly takes the paper and I start to read. Like a sponge, I absorb every word. Breathless. By Natsuki Tamura. In and out. Inhale. Exhale. Repetitive and constant. A machine that never turns off. A thick, inky smog clogs my nose, searing my face. The heat. It burns. It hurts. The smoke, which I can't leave away. Then a light in the darkness. You come to blow the smoke away, and with you, it's a breath of fresh air. My lungs are clean. My eyes can see again. My heart is happy. I love this song. I love this. This is such perfection right now. My hands clutch the paper. My mind swirls with a billion different thoughts. The smells of everyone's lunches fills my nostrils and my eyes blur just a tad. Is this really happening? I can't believe it. Am I dreaming? Certainly I'll wake up from this daze and be in bed, struggling to write a poem for today. She wrote this for me? This was written at me. She had to. There's no other way to decipher this. I hate the fact that I have that little negative thought, like, nope, it's for some other guy. But it's so funny. The metaphors, the analogies, the everything. This has to be a confession, right? Puka? Natsuki waves her hand in my face, knocking me out of my chair. Oh, I open my mouth to speak. The bell rings. What? No. It can't be like this. My mind's screaming. Why the heck did I have to... Why did it have to ring now? God dang. The cafeteria becomes a buzz with activity. Students dumping their trash away and heading out the double doors to class. Well, I guess I'll tell you my thoughts on the club. I start to hand her the paper back. To my surprise, she pushes the paper back to me. Actually, why don't you hold on to it? She pauses, a light blush on her face. You know, for safekeeping. My hands grip the paper tighter. This is going... What just happened? Hello? It just brought up... It just pulled up Streamlabs, okay. My hands grip the paper tighter. It was meant for me. It was meant for me to have. She wants me to keep it. My mind repeats these words over and over. Oh, sure. I try to say, keeping my voice tranquil and chill, but actually starting to shake with nervousness. I can't believe this is actually happening. Oh, I'm hyperventilating. Ooh, I'm trying to play the role as the character, you know. We walk together downstairs, the empty tray in our hands. We stop in front of the doors leading out the foyer. I put the tray into the trash can and turn to her. So I'll see you at the club room. She nods. Yeah, share with me last, so we can just get back to reading, okay? I was reading that so terribly. I was like, share with one last me. And I was like, what? That's not right. Maybe I have dyslexia. I don't think I have dyslexia. I think I'm right. She says to me, those beautiful pink eyes staring at me. I smile. I can't wait. She turns away. I can see a trace of blush on her cheeks. Alright, bye. She gives me a small wave and hurriedly walks away to class. I give a final look and turn away. My heart feels like it could explode, but if it did, I wouldn't care. I'd die a happy man. I'm sad. Oh no, that's the end! Come on, please! Alright guys, well, that's it. Do I go for 2 parts? Do I go for it? Do I go for 2 parts? Do I do it? You know, it depends on what Daijobu means. If this is good, I won't.